leaders coming here to talk about climate change. I can't imagine a more heightened state of alert. It's a country that knows it has a problem with forces, with people going to Syria to fight with ISIS and coming back. And I spoke to this French senator, Christiane Laporte, and I spoke to Nathalie Goulet, who's a senator, but also oversees the committee, which is essentially the Homeland Security Committee, the equivalent of that here. And she basically said that even though we know everything that's going on, it's still almost an impossible problem to solve. Listen to what she said.
You cannot put a policeman behind everybody because we don't have the financial access.
One of them apparently was known to the police. This French one was known to the police.
He was known because we find his fingerprint, but
he wasn't known
before. But you knew of him before?
Yes, we were, of course, because you know, we have, all the French people do not have their fingerprint on the databases.
If you knew about him before, how did he slip through?
Let Mera, Nemouche, Koulibaly, Kouachi, all the big murderers we had last time were also known before they were acting like that.
That's a real problem.
It's a hell of a problem. It's a hell of a problem.
She says it's a hell of a problem, but saying you cannot have a police person behind every person who's coming off.
Behind every person, not even a person who they had their eyes on since 2010. One of the people, one of the terrorists now, one of the ones they have identified with, a French citizen, they matched his fingerprint. They've known who he was since 2010. They say he'd been radicalized, but he never carried out a terrorist act. Well, but they knew who he was. They couldn't watch him closely enough to keep him from doing this. That's a hell of a problem.
It is, and as Jim Sciutto was talking about, they have hundreds and like thousands of people who have either fought in Iraq and Syria and returned, who have been radicalized by those who did, and to track them, he's saying, they say, is 10 to 1. So you'd have to have 10 counter-terror officials per person. It's an impossible task for this country, which raises the stakes of what they will do to fight back. Francois Hollande saying merciless response, saying this is war.